I'm here with this week's Line Opinion panelists to discuss another topic we wanted to cover this week. Now, normally the UNM Lobos are in their locker room when the national anthem is played before a football game, but last Saturday, as you probably heard, because of weather and other circumstances, the team was on the field when the UNM band began to play the Star-Spangled Banner. And during that time, 5 players took the knee, knelt during the anthem in solidarity with pro football players across the country who have chosen this posture as a protest against racial injustice. Their actions caused a furor, as you might imagine, not only locally but across the country. New athletic director Eddie Nunez apologized to those who were offended. Coach Bob Davie instead apologized to the 5 players whose kneeling singled them out for what he called, quote, undue criticism. Now, Merritt, it's an interesting deal here, and it seems so binary. You either go with this side or you do this side, but it is a little bit nuanced, and it seemed like Bob Davie got a little caught by surprise because the team didn't have a chance to discuss it beforehand. How do you think this is all played out? I mean, this is the first college campus, by the way, where this has happened across the country, the first college team. So.
And of course, it was the Air Force game.
That's right. Of course. Thank you for getting that in.
So,
that's right.
You know, I think the nuance is the instant that taking a specific posture and a specific hand over a heart becomes law and, for the national anthem, we have a much bigger problem in our country.
Right.
I have no issues with this type of protest.
Okay.
I would share, there's a ceremony that happens every day on every military base called Colors. And at 8 a.m., the flag is raised and the national anthem is played. And everyone who finds himself outside faces the main flagpole and salutes until the national anthem is over. And I will tell you, every single day around the world at 7:59, soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines are running to get inside buildings so they don't have to waste 2 minutes standing looking at the flag.
Right.
Is it because they hate America or the president or the flag? No. They're impatient, they're lazy, they got other stuff to do.
Human
so,
beings. That's right.
so this mindset that we have this symbol that we must revere, I really think has gone too far. And when folks talk about insulting the military really doesn't care.
Right, right. I hear you. I have military in my family. That's the consensus I've heard as well. It's interesting. Andy, again, but it's here. It makes things different when it's here, doesn't it? When you see pictures of UNM players on a knee. Facebook, of course, blew up like crazy. It was like amazing on Saturday and all day Sunday. What was your sense of it watching that happen?
I think, well, yeah, what happens here in Mexico, anytime that, like you said, it comes here, we're get excited, good or bad.
Right.
I mean, and Dan can probably attest to this too, at the legislature, you see in the press gallery, journalists have work to do, like Merritt was talking about. Right. Sometimes this is for the pledge and not for the national anthem, but right. It's not any disrespect from journalists that are up there, but sometimes you're in the middle of typing something out. Sometimes you have to run to the bathroom or
That's
something,
right.
So
That's right.
I think, I don't really think it matters where you are when that's happening.
Yeah. So in your mind, Sophie, is the new athletic director in conflict with the football coach? Meaning he apologized to the community, the AD, but the football coach apologized to the players. Those are vastly different apologies.
I didn't find them particularly dissonant. I mean, I think UNM president also made what I thought was a really well thought out statement. When you are working in an academic environment, you better believe that First Amendment rights are front and center in your thinking and how you do your work. So I think what we see here is a group of young men who didn't know that they were going to have this opportunity, but I believe that they had thought it through. And that, how could you not, right?
Right, that's right.
In that position, how could you not be looking at where you hope to be going in the NFL and not think through what you would do? And so these young men had a unique opportunity to express their opinions, their feelings in a way that I think was quite impactful here in the state. And I would agree with Merritt. I don't think it's disrespectful. I mean, we hear a lot of, this is not the appropriate time, this is not the appropriate way.
That's right.
Protest is not supposed to be appropriate.
That's right. Or convenient.
It's not drinking tea, pinkies up.
But they're not turning their back. They're not making rude gestures. No. I mean, this is this is perfectly appropriate.
Yeah. I agree.
Interesting, Dan. I'm still on this thing about the new AD. He's walked into something here because not only do we have I don't call it a cloud, but Bob Davie has a situation going on with his football team between him and the players, a lot of allegations. And I'm wondering if this might have been a little bit of a make-good for Bob Davie to the team. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to muse about these things, and we don't know what's in his heart, but I'm sure it sat well with the players to have the coach come out and defend them, as a matter of fact, and not throw them under the bus.
Yes, it's certainly difficult to know as an outsider the internal dynamics of the team, but
That's right.
you know, the players have received support from the university president, from Bob Davie, the football coach, and they certainly have triggered a lot of discussion in the community, which I assume is part of the point of the protest.
That's exactly right. My last question to all you on this, interestingly, there's been an idea that we go back to what we used to have is that the players stayed in the locker room during the national anthem. I mean, nobody even complained about it back then, and I think it was about after 9/11, this all changed, didn't it?
It's relatively recent
Yeah.
as a result of an exchange of money.
Right.
In order to build sort of patriotic display during the games. It's hard to say that horse may be out of the barn, but
Yeah,
but
it's part of the firmament now, the
Yeah.
national anthem before a game.
But do
That's right.
we think that the need to protest has gone away or will go away? Do we think that the issues that the players are trying to shine a spotlight on that's not resolved? And so it's all well and good to say, oh, we just won't put the players on the field. What are you doing?
That's right.
What are you doing?
That's right.
So we're just not
That's
gonna we're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna allow this kind of discussion to go on.
That's right.
That
And players
seems-
will
it
find a
seems-
way.
Frankly, it seems cowardly.
That's right, and players will find a way. We just saw Cam Newton, Carolina Panthers, raise his fist in a protest salute after a touchdown during the Patriots game last weekend. So players will find a way. If it's not kneeling, there's going to be some way to get this point across. So thank you all. Interesting subject. It's local, it's here, and we have to deal with it now. So there you go.